So, Joker Folie à Deux, it's definitely a folly number 2, has a message for male fans: go f yourselves. Now, you could say this is telling it to all fans, but if you remember, the people that were most interested in this movie was disaffected young men, supposedly, according to the news. Now, of course, it turned out not to be the case, but they were very worried about incels doing harm to people and being angry because this is an incel video. And so this time around, they're like, you know what? We're just gonna piss off everybody, but especially the men. Now, if we go back in time here to the original Joker movie, this is from NBC. They say Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, sparked an incel controversy because it's hopelessly hollow. If the new Joker movie actually had a real message, it might have been easier to defend. So right out of the gates, they came out attacking this, and this was from October 5th of 2019, so straight 5 years ago. And I'm not going to read the whole article, but I want to give you a reminder of how the news agencies and lamestream media, what they think of you. They say it feels like the new Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie has been out for months, as the discourse debating the film certainly has been. Was it a masterpiece or a mistake, an ode to complex humanity or violent incel white men? A great deal of speculative ink has been spilled. Credible threats have been fielded by the FBI. Now, what were the credible threats? Mostly the media screaming about it. Those were the most credible threats. Or there might have been, I don't know, one or two dudes that said something. But that, when it comes to white young men, one of them saying something bad on an incel forum now is national emergency. They say the New York City Police Department and others have stepped up security at screenings. Now the film's finally here, and it turns out to be a piece of art that has caused such an uproar. It's nothing more than an incoherent, misbegotten, and embarrassingly dull 2 hours, says Annie Bundell from NBC. Well, let's look at the reviews. Now, again, we're going back in time. This is from 2019. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker hailed as a masterpiece, funny, dark, beautiful, and full of rage. From from Rotten Tomatoes, it received an 89% from the viewers, from us plebeians, and it received a 68 on Tomato Meter with 602 reviews. So that is officially fresh. But gosh forbid we do a movie about a man who feels like he's isolated and doesn't fit in and isn't comfortable and all the other problems that we have out there. Gosh forbid if we don't do that. And so this is the theme. So come around to round number 2 from the Rolling Stone. Joker Folie à Deux has a message for fans. Go f*** yourselves. And this is from David Fear, and this is just from yesterday. Kudos to this follow-up to the $1 billion grossing hit for delivering something more than a carbon copy of the Angry Young Clown original. But who exactly is this musical sequel for? Nobody, if we're to be honest. They go through and they said, I'll be very careful not to give out spoilers, but from my understanding, you don't want to watch this second movie because it will totally change the meaning of the first, because they explain things, and in many ways, the first one is brilliant because it leaves so many things unanswered, and it has some ambiguity, and it makes you wonder, like, is this in his mind? Is he really crazy? It lets you run with theories in your imagination, which is part of the fun. The second one basically explains everything in the first one, and according to at least everybody I've seen that has reviewed it, they said it ruins the first one, and the second one is boring and dull and awful. They say he's been called the Crown Prince of Crime, first-round contender for Best Batman Bad Guy of all time, and a supervillain IP with the same amount of brand recognition as his Caped Crusader arch-nemesis. For most actors, he is an excuse to go ham or to extremely ham it up. For Joaquin Phoenix and director Todd Phillips, the character was the chance to play ground with decades of comic book mythology and turn him into God's lonely bozo, an amalgamation of anti-heroes that carbon date back to the Carter era. Regardless, the Joker was always an all-purpose agent of chaos, but what he really wanted to do was sing. No. Just no. I won't drill down into the meat of this story because it rambles, but basically they're supporting the theme, they're supporting the idea, that Arthur Fleck now is not the lonely, incel, sad man who feels like he's outside of a society that loves him or cares for him or even acknowledges that he's alive. Nope, that is out. That is gone. But I'll dive in a little bit more, but I do have to be careful. That article gets into spoilers, so I don't want to read too much of it. From Time Magazine, Joker Folie à Deux feels like a movie for no one. That's right. A movie can be a major downer and still carry no emotional weight. That's the sad, stoop-shouldered truth of Joker Folie à Deux, Todd Phillips' follow-up to his explosively popular 2019 vigilante extravaganza Joker. The picture has so little energy that it sags off the screen. It's as droopy as the sad psychiatric prison underpants worn by its depressed, underfed hero. Arthur Fleck, played once again by Joaquin Phoenix. He won awards, obviously, for the first portrayal of this character, and this time around, they even say here, Folie à Deux stumbles on nearly all fronts. Even if the movie's ambitions are admirable, you might end up too bored to even care. Now we get into spoilers on this article, so I'm going to leave that one behind. From Mashable, Joker's Folie à Deux review, a middle finger to fans of Lady Gaga, the DC movies, and musicals. Now, there was a point in here that, again, no spoilers on this one. There was a point in here where they're talking about the fact that they're basically painting Lady Gaga as a hero, and even though she's not in the film very much, that they are praising her while putting down Arthur Fleck. They say because this is firmly Joker's movie, Harley's name isn't in the title, is it? Lee's character is less fleshed out and more a sexy device to push Arthur Fleck out of his numb routine and back into the chaos circus. Despite her worldwide fame as a singer, Gaga isn't given a big number. It's just a small solo moment before a mirror, singing to herself as she puts on the closest this movie will get to a Harley Quinn makeover. This could be awesome transformation. Is underwhelming. The result, like a rushed Halloween costume. Fans who've relished in the fresh fashion fantasies bestowed to us by Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad, will likely be disappointed. Those were all bad movies anyway. Adding insult to injury, the duo's dance down Joker's signature staircase, which is all over the promotional materials, doesn't even occur in the movie. Why would Gaga take such a sidekick role? She pours herself into the part. So much so that she's released a companion album, Harlequin, even though Lee is never even called Harley Quinn in the movie. But despite being kicked to the margins of this Joker story, Gaga's performance offers a rich subtext about parasocial relationships, one that perhaps is informed by her own experience as a global pop star. Her Lee is a fan who feels not only that she understands the infamous person with whom she is obsessed, but also that she knows what's best for him better than anybody else. Yearning to be seen and loved, Arthur is easy prey for such attention. But while the film begins to regard Lee as a vicious opportunist, Gaga's performance shows empathy through Lee's radiant desperation to be seen. Whatever the song put before her, Gaga performs them smartly in character, pitching her voice from tender to on the verge of breaking, to sultry vocal purrs, to broad cabaret of belting. Her Lee is a woman determined to be the badass he wants to see in the world, and Gaga's vocal performance charts that course in the background of the Joker tedium. So basically, they take a story of a sad, lonely man who's unappreciated by society and turn it into a musical where he dances and jumps around with a woman in Lady Gaga. Let's check out the ratings, shall we? Joker Folie à Deux makes $7 million in Thursday night previews, receives 1/2 a star from post-track audiences. Now, this rating system, post-track, is they interview people as they're leaving the cinema, and they say, what do you think of the movie? The audiences say 1/2 a star as they're exiting the theaters. While many knew this Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga combo would be challenged in the fact that it was a musical, the fanboys full out rejected the sequel last night on a post-track with 1/2 star and 40% positive. A very low 24% say they'll definitely recommend Joker 2 to their friends. God knows what this means for Joker 2's stability throughout the weekend. RT audience scores for Joker 2 is also in the gutter at 37% with critical reviews plummeting from 62% fresh to 39% rotten. And here we've seen it's dropped even further, 38% on Rotten Tomatoes and 36% by the fans. I normally would say if the people reviewing the professionals, the professional movie reviewers, if they're saying it stinks and the fan says it's great, I'd say that's an amazing movie more than likely. If the reviewers said it's great and the fan says it stink, then it's probably some woke, I don't know, lefty nonsense. But when everybody says it stinks, you've missed, well, everybody. Once again, Hollywood trying to go for, I don't know, something new, something to own the chuds, something to, I don't know, make it interesting and brighten up the dark thriller by putting in a musical and Lady Gaga. I don't know. But whatever it is, it failed. It fell flat on its face. Good riddance.